Hello, I'm Tam the Tam BOTC channel, and I had a versus going on between Elric and Witcher. So far on my Discord, most of my friends have gone for Elric. The only complaint they had really was that Elric would be doing a different pose, like just a dude doing a pose on the cover, but that would be no different from The Witcher. Felt a lot of the same problems, as well as advertisements like freaking Netflix being posted on it, or using the video game art, or just the TV show cover, or just a dude on the cover, but live action. I always hated that kind of art, and The Witcher felt very bland, with still some good covers, but Elric took it all the way from both the different book cover variants to the different like comic book variants too, and the art inside and so on. I felt it won in both departments. And once again, Witcher did have some good covers too. Not all of the covers felt representative of the work on the inside, or what you were getting yourself into, how it spoke to you, but they felt that Elric so far spoke to them, and it won through the Discord server, but would have to see through if anybody cares to vote on YouTube. So we're basing it mostly on the titles, the cover art, and how likely you would read it if given the chance. And this is the same going on here with Elfquest and Zelda. This is probably my hardest challenge yet, is between Zelda and Elfquest. This was a hard one for me to decide, like, if I wanted to do Elfquest against Zelda, but I felt it was probably the best one I could do. That would probably make the most sense of any series I could go up against. And while this does have some black and white art, there is some color. I wanted to use this, was mostly color, but there is some black and white too. But you can look up pictures. I had to send pictures and such to my friends. So far, Elfquest and Zelda are tied on my Discord, 2-2 with my friends. We might have some people that might be able to break the tie. But we'll have to see. And let's get into this. You can look up once again cover art for both of these, whether it be comics, games, whatever. You decide from there, and you can decide adding this video to those, and comment below which you think you like better. But let's get into these. I'm going to start with Elfquest first. So let's open up, see some of the art. We got some covers here. Let me let it focus. I'm a bit shaky. I'm usually like that. That's nothing new. I've always had very shaky hands in general. So look at that. That's great. So I will describe what I feel about both of these, but don't let me sway your opinion. Got a light glare going on these, so it might be a bit hard in some cases. But you can judge for yourself afterwards. I'm just going to add my thoughts to this because I've already decided which one I go with. I want to say that I feel that like stuff like the Castlevania cover art, or the cover art of like Metal Gear or something even, or you could use the example that Rhett and Link said about Wendy's Frosties or something, that it kind of transcends that. Like, I can't describe what style this is. It's just such a unique art style. A lot of the characters are beautiful, but they know how to make some of them ugly. There's a lot of variety too to the art, especially depending on the creatures or the race. Like, we're seeing humans here, and you can very much tell a difference between them and the elves, how the elves look. I very much feel like it goes into that almost Tolkien thing too, where Tolkien describes the elves as really beautiful in his books. And I feel like this really says that. Probably even better than the live-action movies of Lord of the Rings, where Galadriel in the movie, I'm like, she's not my she's not somebody I'd date. Where like everybody is freaking beautiful in these books and how they're drawn and designed. I love the art style. It absolutely stands out. It's unique. I may be biased, but then again, I played Legend of Zelda for a long ass time. I didn't get into Elfquest until later on in my life. And I absolutely love and adore Elfquest. I even think of it as like one of the best fantasy series out there. And I didn't know what to compare it up to. There's a lot of the characters. There's just such great story and character development in these. I think I only have one problem with one of the latest comics, but other than that, everything else is consistently really good for the Elfquest series. I absolutely love it. I've probably read this book here like a million times. I love this book alone. Um, my mom had like so much Elfquest in general, but I just feel like this art transcends. It's every page is very nice to look at. It feels like there's so much detail going into every page. And once again, while that art does feel like it's almost crossing the line into looking kind of anime, it also isn't. It's something unique. It's right in between like two different art styles, but it nails whatever art style it's going for on the head. It's just so unique. I love it. So colorful, so bright, vivid. I love the character designs. My friend was swayed by how hot the elf ladies were in this, like Lita. The style is just very unique and awesome. I freaking love it. It stands out, it stands on its own, and if you get into the story and characters, you're really gonna love it too. Like, it's really up there for me. Oh, some of it's attaching a bit. Yeah, like, I freaking love these stories, these characters. They're all really brilliant. So I think that's all I'm going to go through with this. I got a little song here. But yeah, I wanted to go just through a little bit of this, give you a sample of it. And we're going to go into Zelda. This is a nice book cover too, though more simplified just because you have a little, just one image of Link here, but that's totally fine. But yeah, once we get into the art. Now, what I will say about Zelda, and I'm sorry if this will come across a little bit negative, I still love the art styles, the many art styles of Zelda. And man, the series is also great. I love Zelda stuff. I'm trying to be careful not to crease the book. And Majora's Mask and Link to the Past are like my favorite of the comic books. But I will say, when you're looking at this art, I have to say that it, besides a lot of like creatures and what characters do stand out, like Happy Mask Salesman does stand out. Though you could argue Link is exactly, you can tell he's very much Peter Pan, kind of like how Solid Snake is very much Snake Plissken. There's still originality there, but it's not enough to go over the border of like the originality of, say, the how these characters are designed. And then there's like the art styles themselves. You can tell that while this anime looking art style, while other characters it really works for because they have their own distinct looks. Other characters, you feel that the art style does very much look like something you've seen before. It doesn't help that a lot of games are trying to mimic, like especially the recent Breath of the Wild. It kind of blends a little bit, but that's not a bad thing because Zelda did it first, and it was the best one at it, at what it was able to do. Like stuff like Genshin Impact will never beat it. But when you look at a lot of the art styles, like there's a cel-shaded art style, there is the Wind Waker. I love Wind Waker's art style, but I will say that it is an art style I have seen before. I have seen art styles like it. It's still, they're the best at it, and they're the ones that stand out because of it, but it doesn't cross that same border I feel Elfquest does, where I haven't seen anything like Elfquest before, and nothing has come close to touching that art style. Like, and then it's going into black and white now. Still fantastic art style. I'm not taking away from it. But if I add anything, those are what I would add to it. There's still very unique stuff about the Zelda stories. It very much still stands out. And you can tell there's still a lot of detail put into this, too. So go with whichever one you feel is the best. That's your sample. That's all you're getting. Oh my god. Ugh, that sucks. And judge between these two. Like, look alone at, like, you can see the face of, like, I'm going to be doing some art, by the way, combining. What is that? I don't know what that was, hair or something. You can combine, like, say, like, cutter to, is that a, that sucks. Just discovering that. You can combine, like, the look of Cutter to the look of Link, and kind of, like, I'm going to be combining their faces in like a picture that I'll be drawing soon. I'll probably show it in a video one of these days. But yeah, like, if you look at just the covers of these two characters, you can kind of decide by the design of the characters alone, like, what you think. But I would say go for the other art, both in the book and out of the book, the covers and so on. Decide what you think. Maybe you like variety more, though that's not to say Elfquest doesn't have variety. Same with Zelda. Zelda definitely has variety. And, or do you like consistency? Because Elfquest is a little bit more consistent with its art compared to Zelda. Zelda's only consistent in a couple areas, but that's not a problem, and then I know there's a lot of ridiculous timelines to Zelda. I have a lot of Zelda stuff. I'm a big fan of Zelda. I collect so many figurines. I have a Master Sword. I do need a Hylian shield. I do have some Zelda t-shirts. I have a Zelda hat, of course. Have Zelda books. I have that big book that has the entire timeline and such. And I have all the games and so on. I think even like collector's edition versions of some of the games. And I've played them so goddamn much. I love the Zelda series and I love the Elfquest series. I have a lot of comic books to the Elfquest series as well. I'm planning on getting the rest of the Zelda book mangas as well too. That would be fantastic. I finally found a place where I can get more of them. I found out there's like 8 books to the Twilight manga series, which is interesting, and I don't know how much that's going to cost in the end. But I am also planning on getting more Elfquest related stuff. I have their recent volumes of, is it Stardust or something like that? But yeah, and their art has progressed and gotten much better over the years too. Yeah, I just think this stands out like a chocolate frosty at Wendy's. In the way that Rhett and Link says, or say, like I was saying with the art of Castlevania, like it stands out as something unique and almost indescribable, and how I can say it other than beautiful, and almost crossing that anime line of how it looks, but not quite. It's like in between, but it's like perfect in between. Really good. Love both these series. I think they're excellent. You decide in the end. This is probably one of the craziest videos I've made just because of the idea and concept of having these two go up against each other. I didn't know what else to think to go up against Elfquest, though. I honestly couldn't think of anything else. Maybe this is the wrong decision. Maybe it was the right one. You decide. I would love to hear your opinions, your thoughts, what you think on either side. So far, we got it tied on my Discord. I might have a tiebreaker on there, but you guys could also break the tie. I'm sure a lot of people might go for Zelda just on biased, or maybe even people for Elfquest on biased. I don't know. Might be go either way. I know that Zelda's got more popularity, got more of a stance with a lot of people, and that it's become very iconic. Though I guess it's kind of a good thing Elfquest hasn't become as big as it has, that though, so that like game companies or big game companies or even Hollywood won't screw it over like they have many properties before. So maybe it's a good thing Elfquest hasn't gotten as big as like Zelda, because Zelda could potentially be very ruined by some almost Jared Leto side dents, kind of like his Joker. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. I will see you guys next time. Like, share, and subscribe if you did enjoy. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.